Well, happy Friday to you all. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Julian and I had a successful Thanksgiving, first one in our house. And prior to that, Julie wasn't well. And then the other one after that, I went to Marie Callender's and got all their whole feast, and I brought that home. And so this is the first time cooking in the house. And so it was just a simple, turkey and all the little side dishes that went along with it. And so it was good. And so we had plenty of leftovers. I invited, anybody who wanted to come that I knew that was nearby, but people had their own plans. So it was just Julie and I. It was very sweet and nice, and we watched football and talked to friends, on the phone and family. And Facebook, I get to see all my family. We're all spread apart. I've got family all over, so able to see them and their pictures, and so it's so nice, Anyway, hey, so what's going on with the news? I just heard something about London again, in Oxford train station, some sort of incident going on there. I'm hoping it's nothing serious. But they were responding to an incident at Oxford Circus subway station. So, Andre, I hope you don't live close to there. I hope that you're not near that area. And also, let's see what else is going on. Trump is doing well as far as our economy is concerned. As far as the troops are concerned, it was nice to see him with them and giving his support to them. And I think that that's so important to our people who are serving our country. So just kind of watching the news here quickly. It's 5:25 your time over there now. And so hopefully it's not anything bad. Okay, so we are in the book of Acts. I did a song, my own composition that I composed, and it just kind of came to me, called Love, Hope, and Compassion. And if you get a chance to listen to it, let me know what you think. I'd like to know. I don't know what's happening with what's going to be happening with my music or the stuff that I write. If anything will ever come of it, I don't know, but I'm putting it out there, so we'll see. I'm leaving it in God's hands, pretty much, and He's helping me with the music, so Anyway, okay, so chapter 27, where Paul is, pleading for his. He had just pleaded for his release, and he ships towards Rome. Foretelleth the danger of the voyage, etc. Okay, so and when it was determined that we should sail into Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Julius, a centurion of Augusta band. And so because Paul said that he wanted to talk to Caesar, I think he would have been released, but he said that he wanted to talk to him, so they have to send him there. So, and entering into a ship of Adramyttium, we launched, meaning to sail by the coast of Asia, one Aristarchus, a Macedonian of Thessalonica, being with us. And the next day we touched at Sidon, and Julius courteously entreated Paul, gave him liberty to go unto his friends to refresh himself. And when we had launched from hence, we sailed under Cyprus, because the winds were contrary. And when we had sailed over the sea of Cilicia and Pamphylia, we came to Myra, the city of Lycia, and there the centurion found a ship of Alexandria sailing into Italy, and he put us therein. And we had sailed slowly many days, and scarce we came over against Sidus, the wind not suffering us, we sailed unto Crete, over against Salmon, and hardly passing it, came into a place which is called the Fair Havens, near unto was the city of Lycia. Now much time it was spent sailing, and now dangerous, because the fast was already past. And Paul admonished them, and he said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be with hurt and much damage, and only the lading and ship, but also of our lives. Nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and owner of the ship more than those things that were spoken by Paul. And because the haven was not commodious to winter in, and more part advised to be depart hence also, if by any means they might attain to Phoenice, and there to winter, which is in haven of Crete, and lieth toward the southwest and northwest. And when the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained their purpose, losing hence, they sailed close by Crete. And but not long after, there arose again a tumultuous wind called Eurolydon. And when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive, and running under a certain island which is called Claudia, had much work to come by the boat. And when we taken up, they used helps undergirding the ship, and fearing lest all should fall into the quicksand, strike sail, and so were driven. And we, being exceedingly tossed with tempests, the next day they lightened the ship, and the third day we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship. And when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away. But after long absence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them, and said, Sirs, we should have hearkened unto me, and not loosened from Crete, and have gained his harm and loss. Now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship. So there stood by me this night the angel of God, whose I am and whom I serve, saying, Fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar, and lo, God hath given thee all of them that sail with thee. Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe God that it shall be even as it was told me. Howbeit, we must be cast upon a certain island. But when the 14th night was come, as we were driven up and down in Adria about midnight, the shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country, and sounded and found it 20 fathoms. And when they had gone a little further, they sounded again and found it 15 fathoms. And fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks, they cast 4 anchors out of the stern, and wished for the day. And as the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, they had let down the boat into the sea under the color, as though they would have cast anchors out for the foreship. And Paul said to the centurion and to the soldiers, Except these abide in the ship, you cannot be saved. And the soldiers cut off the ropes of the boat and let her fall off. And while the day was coming, Paul besought them all to take meat, saying that this day is the 14th day that we have tarried and continued fasting, having taken nothing. Therefore I pray you to take some meat, and for this and for your health, and for this is for your health, and there shall not a hair fall from your head of any of you. And when he had thus spoken, he took bread and gave thanks to God in the presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. And when they were all of good cheer, and they also took some meat, we were in all in the ship 260 souls. And they all eaten enough, they lightened the ship, cast out the wheat into the sea. And it was day, and they knew not the land, but they discovered a certain creek with a shore, unto the which they were minded, if it were possible, to thrust in the ship. Then they had taken up anchors, they committed themselves unto the sea, loosened the rudder bands, and hoisted up the mainsail to the wind, and made toward shore. And then falling into a place, there were two sea meat. They ran the ship aground, and 4 parts struck fast, remained unmovable, but the hinder part was broken with the violence of the waves. And the soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim out and escape. But the centurion, willing to save Paul, kept them from their purpose, commanded that they watch and should swim, and should cast themselves first into the sea and get to land. And the rest, some on board, and some on broken pieces of the ship. And so it came to pass that they escaped all safe to land. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. The next will be chapter 28. I'm going to do another video right now. Okay? Again, I hope that you have a great Friday. I hope you all were doing well and feeling well. Thomas and Pam, I hope you're doing great. And thank you for your well wishes on the music. I appreciate that. And anyway, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Let me know how you're doing. Like it only if you like it. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, love you all. Bye-bye.